Good afternoon everyone, I'm Gary Martin and today I've got Ellie with me who's going to be playing 3 holes for her GCSEs. We've got to demonstrate to a tutor, you know, what your golf's like, aren't we?
Yeah.
But whilst we're doing that, we're going to teach you guys a great way of keeping on top of your game so that you can make the most of your game this summer, because not many amateur golfers do this. And one of the things I were guilty of, Ellie, is, you know, when I were an amateur golfer like yourself, wasting too much time trying to perfect my swing on driving range, when really, ultimately, all you want to do is score as low as possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you guys some tools on how to do that today, but we're going to tee off first, aren't we? Come on then. We're on the par 3 8th hole here, where Ellie's got 1 shot. She's a 20 handicap, so she's got 1 shot here. And it's 124 yards. Get up. In the bunker. Unlucky. So what today's about, Ellie, it's about collecting data, alright? And this is going to be in the data. It's going to be, when you're in a bunker, how many does it take to get on the green and down in? Because of your handicap, you should be getting out the bunker and then 2-putting. Alright, so if you don't get down in less than 3 from here, then there's going to be a little X in that box.
Yeah.
All right, and then that could be an area that we might need to work on.
It's out.
Can I just get you to hit another club? I want you to do a pitching wedge. Get a pitching wedge out, and another ball. Because you've played was that a sand wedge?
Yeah.
And it's quite a long bunker shot, isn't it? And you've got to remember, when your sand wedge lands, what's it going to do? It's going to spin and stop, isn't it? All right. You need to land that ball sort of, you know, round about halfway here. And with a pitching wedge, it should roll a little bit more. Now that's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you've got a longer distance book shot, have you practiced these shots much?
No.
Go get a 9-iron. Let's see what happens with a 9-iron. Because everybody, especially higher handicappers, think that when you're in the sand, you've got to play a sand wedge. Well, if you practice, it's not actually true. You can get out with a little bit lower lofted club, playing exactly the same technique, just changing the loft, and learn how the ball actually rolls when it lands. Come on, Ellie, get yourself sorted out. She's got iron covers on.
I know, Dad, all of them in my bag. Bloody hell.
Going all fancy. Is that a 9-iron?
Yeah.
Now look at this one. Is that going to go a little bit further? No. Which one were you most happy with?
Pitching
wedge or 9-iron?
Pitching wedge.
Pitching wedge. So that's something now, you know, if you've got a longer bunker shot, you've got the confidence to use your pitching wedge, ain't you?
Yeah.
Right. I hope you guys have learnt something there as well. It's not just sand wedge for bunkers. Ellie's got a chip shot now. Think about where you're trying to land it, Ellie. It's going to roll into it because it's your pitching wedge. Good shot, well done. Lovely. Oh. It's pretty windy here today. It's not the easiest of conditions. Oh, nearly. Finish it off. Well done. So was that a 5, Ellie?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go and have a look at that. We're going to have a look at this card. So you made a 5, Ellie. Now, a lot of people would just write a 5 on the card and be no wiser. They'd have no data from that. What we're going to do is we're going to think about, did you hit that green in regulation? Off your handicap, hitting the green in regulation is 1 over par, so it would have been 2 shots. Unfortunately, you didn't. You didn't get in regulation. And that's because I think you chose the wrong club out the bunker the first time, didn't you? Use a sand wedge when it was a long distance shot. The second one is you went in a bunker. Did you get down in free from the bunker? No. You knocked it out, you chipped on it, you two-putted. So again, we've got a bit more data there that you didn't get out of the bunker and then two-put. You missed the green in regulation. Did you get up and down from the edge of the green? You actually did, yeah. You chipped on and then you two-putted, so that's a tick. So you did well there. And then finally putting, did you get 2 or less puts?
2 puts.
2 puts, so yeah, tick there. So we've got some great data there. We're already starting to realise your weakness is your bunker. And I think that were a matter of club selection, which obviously I've just taught you. So if we get in a bunker again, we can try and improve that. But we're going to go through and play 3 holes, then we're going to have a look at our data at the end and see if that starts to highlight some points of your game, Ellie, that you didn't know about. So we're on the 9th hole here at Huddersfield. This is actually a low stroke index, Ellie. This is stroke 3. So you've got 2 strokes on here, but first things first, you've got to hit the fairway, all right? Because we're going to be scoring early on fairways hit as well, because that's great data to learn about your driving. You know, how straight are you with your driver? Is that an area of your game that you need to work on?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Oops.
Keep an eye on it. Got a little bit to the right. You seen it land?
It's gone by the second tree.
Yeah, good stuff. Fortunately for Ellie, it's a missed fairway, so that's going to go down on our analysis of your game. And it doesn't matter, Ellie, you know, if you've got quite a few sort of, you know, X's, because we're going to work out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and then that's going to help you focus on your practice and get you practicing in the right areas. You've got some shots on here, so there's going to be some pluses as well, I think, if you play sensible. Well done, good recovery shot.
Thanks.
I mean, you might get on green in less than regulation with a good shot. Lovely swing, well done. That's a tremendous shot. That's up on the green, well done. So you've ticked a box with a shot spare. That's fantastic, and this is a chance as well to get back on par, isn't it? After dropping a shot last hole,
Yeah.
you can catch one up here with 2 putts and get back on track. In the comments, guys, who's collecting data and using it to sort of focus the practice on the areas that they need to obviously practice the most, because this is the best way of sort of scoring the lowest. Come on, Ellie, see if you can finish it. Take your time. Remember, we need that 2 putt. Well done, that's another ticked box. So have we got any patterns yet? I think we have. We've got 2 ticked boxes on putting,
Yeah.
haven't we?
1 on irons.
1 on greens in, no, we didn't get greens in regulation, so it's just 2 on putting so far.
Yeah.
So with 1 hole to play, let's see if we can make that a hat-trick.
Aye.
Good strike, well done. Great shot. You've hit the fairway. Well done. And you've got 53 yards, were it?
Yeah.
53 yards left. So you've hit that one about 200 yards. That were a great 5-iron. These are big wind behind, but it just shows you, you know, when you're focusing and you actually get the fairway, especially this summer, it does roll a long way.
I don't
Not
know.
bad. It might be in another bunker, Ellie, I think.
No, I think that's gone over.
Has it gone over?
Yeah.
Well, on this hole, you've got to get on the green in 3 to hit the green in regulation. So you've got one more shot to get on the green in regulation. Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
So think about that length of stroke that you need and control the speed. Well done, that's a great shot. Fantastic. So we've ticked the box for greens in regulation. Are you going to tick the box for 2-putting?
I'd say maybe one, two.
Maybe 1, yeah. I think you've got a chance of 1. Right, so you've got this put for a 4, Ellie. So go 1 under your handicap. Oh, well done.
In for 4.
And you've ticked your box for 2 puts, 2 and under. Great finish. Right, Ellie, we're going to analyse your score. We're going to drop this card into the video now so you can see what we've done. If we look at your score here, this looks great. But if you slept on that and then, you know, next day I asked you about your round, you wouldn't really have much information to tell me.
No.
I know you wouldn't, you'd have forgot. So what we've got now is we've got a column for fairways in regulation. You missed the first 2 fairways, you didn't hit the par 3 fairway, you went in the bunker. You missed the par 4 and then you got the last fairway. So we've got 2 fairways missed and we've got 1 hit. Greens in regulation, you missed the first one.
Yeah.
And then you've hit the second and the third one. Now bunkers, guys, if you don't go in a bunker, it's not applicable, so you just put an NA. If you go in a bunker, you've got to get down in 3 or less. Alright, if you do, it's a tick. If you don't, it's an X. And in your case, it was an X. Then we've got chips. If you miss the green and you've got to chip the ball, again, you've got to get down in 3 or less. In your case, there were only there were 2 holes actually you were required to do that, and you did it successfully both times. Yeah. And on one of the holes, it wasn't applicable. Then on putts, every hole you got down in 2 or less. Yeah. So that shows you're a strength, doesn't it already? But this has to be done over, you know, more holes. This has to be done after 18, 36 holes, and then you start to really see, you know, where your weaknesses are. So guys, I've just put this, obviously the cards up on there so you can see it, on how we've collected that data. And what I would expect Ellie to do is when she gets home after 18 holes, is maybe have a, you know, today's date, your score,
like notes page.
And then a notes page of, you know, how many greens you've hit in regulation, how many fairways you've hit in regulation, and, you know, obviously the score you want to be getting is 18, isn't it, if you can? That's perfect. So sometimes you can score well and not play perfect golf, but this is going to help you really focus on, you know, doing things correctly, like using your brain when it up 10. You know, not hitting driver, because you didn't need driver to get to green in 2, did you? No. You know, that would have been putting extra pressure on yourself, whereas you hit a 5-iron that you know you can hit pretty well and just plodded it up there and then chipped it on. So, you know, I think this can really help you, and certainly, you know, help you focus on the right things that are going to help you score better. Ellie, you've been on driving range, what, 2 hours today?
I think more than that.
More than that. She's been trying to hit the ball as clean as she can. Well, as a golfer, you don't always need to hit the ball clean to score well. You know, I know a lot of bad strikers at ball, like Tom, who's, you know, he can get round to scratch. He hits it horrendous. Can we get a bite out of him? And he can still score well. And then there's, you know, people like me who strike it absolutely flush, but I don't play that much.
I've never heard so much.
I knew we'd get him. I knew we'd get him. So yeah, guys, it's really important. It's not just about striking the ball well, it's about working on the areas of your game that's going to improve your score. Hope you've enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Well done. And we'll see you guys in a few days' time. Bye.